What is good? Today we are going to cook up some wonky 150 dubstep. Been really inspired by like the Griz Rainbow Brain stuff recently. So let's do some of that. Let me double check, make sure I am recording. We are Gucci. Okay. So I made some songs recently in this genre and it is so much fun, so I thought I'd make a video for you guys. I feel like there's a pretty straightforward formula with it. The hard part I would say is sound designing and getting some cool kind of wonky, almost old school dubstep glitch hop basses, but making them a little bit more modern with like over the top processing and stuff like that. So first, let's just lay down some drums. We could go with some really basic like rhythm style drums with this. It tends to work really well. So let's get a heavy kick. That one sounds good. And then let's get a really aggressive clap. I think that might be good. All my claps are so tiny, I need to make some bigger ones. Ooh, that one smacks. Let's do that one. So we'll keep it simple and we'll add some offbeat kicks here in a second once we get something going. So let's get a nice hat going too. Just something quarter note that we can have consistently playing. That one's good. Let's get an EQ on those. Maybe boost the highs. Turn it down a little, and then let's pan it left. Because I feel like panning your hats is important when you do this kind of heavier dubstep stuff, because it helps put it in its own space. A lot of times if you have some crazy, really over-the-top bass sounds, it'll kind of bury your hats and you won't be able to hear them. So panning them can usually help fix that. See, do I have any open hats? Yeah. That one's good. So let's put an open hat on every offbeat. Like this. Let's make those tighter. I kind of like them being a little different, so we'll make the second one a little bit more open. Adds a little bit more of a bounce. Let's EQ this, and I think that the high end needs to be boosted right there. And let's pan this one the opposite direction, so we'll go right with this one. Do I have any crashes? Get a long hat. Yeah, putting one of these on every kick and snare. It's another good kind of dubstep drum technique. Tuck that in the background. And then let's layer this with like a tambourine, make it sound a little bit more realistic. So do something like that. Excuse me. So now let's hear. Nice. And let's maybe put an auto pan on this one to have the tambourine kind of moving back and forth. Could do something like this. I'll put the rate on maybe like half. No, that tends to... So when I put auto pan on, I pay attention to the meter over here. And we could see the right is the right channel, left is the left channel. And I try to get it to where it's moving back and forth on each hit. So it looks like we maybe should do a quarter note, I think. No, let's turn it up to a bar. 1 bar rate. And let's offset it a little bit. There we go. So now you see you've got right, left, going back and forth. You can hear it too. Let's make it a little more aggressive, go even more the amount. Okay, cool. So I think that's pretty good. Let's spice these drums up a little bit. I'm gonna add a color here. Let's spice them up, add some offbeat kicks, and then we could add some layers on the snare, and I'll show you some techniques that I really like. So, boom, 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 maybe something like that. Nice. And then one thing I like to do is on every snare kind of have a different layer. So actually, let's go to my snare enhancers. These are great for this. I love this one. This one's great at the end of a section. So let's put this on the 4th one. That one sounds nice. Put that one. You could be pretty random with this. Crowd claps are great for this too. Could really get experimental with it. That one's good. We could kind of offset these with the delay tab too. And let's offset some of the hats too. So just go kind of random with it. Put everything off the grid a little bit so we don't have a bunch of transients smashed on top of each other. EQ it. Nice. Okay, so let's put the drum group processing on this bad boy with that glue. We love the glue. Really beef everything up. Let's check our levels. Looks like our kick's a little too much. Let's put it down on 1 dB. Let's maybe even do -2. So, as you guys have heard in a lot of my videos, I like to get that kick hitting right below the 0. And then with a clap snare like this, I want that 1K peak to be between -18, -12. We already have that, so I think everything's good to go. We can maybe tame the snare just a little bit. Nice. Okay. So let's get some bass lines cooking. So I've been having a lot of success with using the bass generators for a downbeat, and then we could go ahead and sound design some like wonky dubstep basses from scratch. So let's go make a group called basses. Make this bright yellow. Really like the harmonic bass generator. And what I've noticed is really effective. A lot of times we have an arrangement like this, right? And you see me do this in a lot of my videos. We'll have downbeat for about half a bar, and then on the snare, we have our motif come in. But I've been having more success lately having just a quarter note downbeat, and then having our motif come in before the snare. It just adds to the energy, makes things a lot more interesting in my opinion. So let's go ahead. We're gonna go with the D. Let's go D. And let's just hit random here until we get something we like. That's pretty cool. And then let's set up some sidechain too. So I've actually been using Ducker for my sidechain recently. Really like this. Yeah, so it's got a lot of control. It's very clean. It's very accurate. So we could go ahead and just take the input from the kick. Now you'll see we get this. We can see the kick and the channel that's getting sidechained, and we have all these controls. So if I turn up the release, we can hear what's going on. So let's turn up hold. See, that's ducking it out too much. So I want to try to get it where that signal of our kick is barely getting cut off. Nice, that's good. And now we'll make another one, and we'll pick the snare. And we could probably make this a little bit tighter. Bring the hold down a little, bring the release down a little. And we'll get a better context once we have a bass line going. So I actually really like this sound. Let's give it a little reverb throw. Something like this. That's what I love about this rack too. It just has everything you need right there. And create that space, lift up into the motif that we're gonna make here. So now let's try to make a motif. Rename this for you. And let's just try to get a cool kind of wonky wobble. So I think the key with these basses are basic shapes and FM. So let's pull up Serum. And we could do a saw wave, go to basic shapes. And saw wave FM'd by a square wave sometimes sounds really, really nice. Also, like low pass filters with resonance or even high pass filters with resonance are going to be great for this. So we'll just go ahead and mess around here. Until we get something that we like. Let's turn random down. So messing with the octave and then doing like 7-note jumps as well. Like, ooh, we're already getting somewhere with that. Let's get a low pass filter going. Yeah, so that little resonant gets that kind of like meowy old school vibe. Maybe we'll put a LFO on the mix too to kind of get some of that high end in still. Yeah, there we go. Let's distort it. Let's maybe try some tonal delay too, kind of get a rhythm vibe going. And then OTT all day with these guys. And then let's do mono always with a little bit of porta, and maybe we could draw some type of basic melody here. Wah, 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 something like that. Let's do that maybe. Let's see how these flow into each other. You know what, let's just hold the root note. Let's keep it real dubsteppy. We could try to write a melody later. Let's just get this sound dialed in. Bum, 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 bum. Wow. Yeah. Alright, cool, we're getting somewhere. Let's make this cooler. Could always try different basic shapes too. Yeah, that square just sounds so good. Ooh. I think I like that. Let's really go crazy with the post-processing. Let's get some more filtering. Combs are really good for this type of stuff sometimes. That adds a nice tone. We could do another EQ to get some more volley movement. Let's maybe do something like this on the high end to tame the high end. We could add a peak somewhere maybe, like this. Or a notch. And then let's give this a direct sub out right now. Just to get a little more context. Yeah, maybe just tame the high end here. See what happens if we put the LFO on the cutoff. No, I don't think I like that. I think I like it there. Alright, let's go crazy on the post. Let's maybe do some dispersers. It's really not too much of a method with this kind of stuff. Oh yeah, so I know someone was asking about disperser in one of the videos. So what's happening here is we're delaying, you see this, we're splitting the signal, the frequency spectrum, and we're kind of offsetting them basically. I don't know in which direction, but basically like these frequencies will now be slightly delayed compared to these frequencies. And it kind of creates this almost like squelchy, watery effect. So without, and then with. And if we do a bunch, it's a little bit more obvious. You could hear that delay going on in the frequency split. But I think just one could be good for taste. That's pretty cool. Let's do multi-band. Throw an EQ on. See what we got going on. Definitely going to give it its own sub eventually. Let's do erosion with envelope follower. Good old faithful. that quarter note goes hard. Let's get some automation going on the rhythm, get something interesting. Wow, 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 wow. More of a fill right there. It's pretty cool. Let's maybe do OTT again. Oh yeah. Could try to do a phaser. To quarter note rate. And if you put effects before all the compression, sometimes it could bring out the effect more. Not really getting anywhere with that. Okay. And then we could get rid of these quarter note hats and have them all come in on the snare. There we go. Oh. Cool. I kind of like that. That has a nice grit, nice kind of character to it. Let's not get too stuck. We can always come back and change the sound. So let's go ahead and get a new downbeat here. I'm thinking could either randomize the harmonic again, or we could mess around and do some type of like ARP or like laser type sound. Hear Griz and like Ellis Dream do stuff like that a lot. So let's go ahead and just hit random. Oh, that's already kind of cool. Let's make the decay longer. Yeah, and then on the fill, oh, I've been really liking these cashmere, like, it's got some, I think, video game laser sounds or something like that. Yeah, that's sick. We could do some type of rhythmic thing with that, like this. Yeah, that's cool. All right, let's keep it moving. Let's add depth, kind of tie the idea together more. So one thing I like to do with the vocals is we could find a vocal or some type of chant, usually something like funky sounding, like someone going or hey. That's a good one. We could put this, so I love putting these on the snare with delay. It sounds really sick, so we could do this with like yeah. Can you put it on the last one maybe? Yeah. I'm gonna put it on ping pong to kind of put it outside so it's not kind of fighting for space with this guy. Pretty cool. All right, let's keep the arrangement moving forward. I think maybe we can repeat this. Yeah, let's repeat it. And then let's have like a big 1-bar fill down here. Do something funky. Great tip for fills is treat them as mini build-ups. It will really level up your the quality of it. So for instance, we'll take the kicks and do some type of build. And then let's put some effects in there too. So if we do pink. So let's do a down sweep. Gonna use mostly my, that could be a good one. Let's put this up an octave. And then we'll get a riser. I really like, I think I have a ring mod one. This one's cool. The kind of like ring mod, lasery vibes are great for this type of style. And then vocal. So we could record our own vocal here. Especially Griz tunes, I notice he'll record his own vocal a lot. We could just say something kind of like almost like trippy, like I'm trying to think of something we could say. Give me some wonky stuff. Nah, that's stupid. Turn up the bass. Nah, you know what? I'm gonna use one of my boy Rich's vocals. Rich Vox. There we go.
Noetika, my check. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Bad man tune, you know? Yeah, man. Wheel and come again, selector.
Yeah, there we go.
Wheel and come again, selector. Wheel and come again, selector. Wheel and come again, selector.
And I don't want it being sidechained, so I'm going to take it out of the sidechain group.
Wheel and come again, selector.
And let's just make it say, wheel and come again.
Wheel and come again, selector. Wheel and come again. Wheel and come again.
Yep.
Wheel and come again. Wheel and come again. Wheel and come again.
OTT and then like distortion on the vocal too is going to be great. So we do a little altar boy.
Wheel and come. Wheel and come again. Wheel and come again. Wheel and come. Wheel and come again. Wheel and come again. Wheel and come again. Wheel and come again. Wheel and come again.
Sometimes repeating like the vowel too. Let's do it right there, maybe. Yeah. So we could also do a riser into that section. Something like this. So I'm gonna make another group too, and we're gonna call this Synth. Another common thing with this kind of, I don't like to call it old school because I feel like it's like old school, new school dubstep, if that makes sense. So like we still have like these really ultra processed, super loud drums and basses, but we're utilizing a lot of old school techniques, and one of those is offbeat plucks or offbeat like dub organs or synths. So we could go ahead and do that. Let's create a new group, make this reddish, and if we type in stab, could usually find some cool stuff in your library, and I'm just looking for like some type of kind of synth stab. Yeah, like these old school dubstep stabs, just like this. Like that one would be perfect, and we could add this to the offbeats, and we could just bring it in on this second section to help, you know, make it not as repetitive. And not only that, but also just adding more depth and making it more interesting. So let's put an EQ on it. Ooh. Maybe boost those highs. And we could put a little bit of delay. A little bit of reverb. Let's maybe pitch these up an octave too, kind of get them in their own space. Oh yeah. And then I think this downbeat should be different. And let's go ahead and utilize some type of cool sample. I really like this laser sound, so maybe we could do that. Do something really fast. Yeah. And let's get a different chant. So let's get a hey chant going. Hey. I like that one. Let's get a snare build. Actually, I'll just take a snare of my own. This trappy one. So you could do that, and then let's put a shifter on it. Make it pitch up. All right, let's duplicate all this over, and now let's get a new section. So we could keep all the downbeats for now, and let's make a different motif base. So I see in a lot of lessons I've been going over with you guys, making sure that we have contrasting B sections. A lot of people will just have your arrangement's good, your mix down's good, the idea is good, but it's the same bass patch playing the whole time and it barely changes. You're really just changing the rhythms. So make sure in your B sections you're making pretty contrasting sounds. And I think it's a great way to get better at sound design too, because we can really push the limits and try to really manipulate the sound until we can get something new. So first, I'm just going to go ahead and delete all the automation on the rate. And let's go ahead and mess around here with trying to make a variation. So obviously, this is the one everyone knows, is changing the rhythm. So let's change the rate. But let's go ahead and really try to change the tonality and the character of this. So FM, distortion, the types of shapes you're using, the filtering are all things that are going to change that. So let's first change this to an octave higher. Yeah, I like it without the disperser too. Kind of rid of me there. Oh, that's angry. Oh. Boom, boom, boom. So let's go down to a quarter note right here, maybe. Let's try to get some kicks here too to help kind of build tension or almost build up into the fill, because I think the fill kind of comes out of nowhere. Alright, let's change this fill. So let's go ahead now and change some of the fills around too, because we don't want the same fills and same downbeats over and over again. Because I kind of like this sound. Again, you could always go back and dial in the sounds and make them better, but I think it's important to keep moving forward, because we could still be working on this sound if we really wanted to, and it would take forever. Just finishing ideas, having fun, and not taking things too seriously is a great learning lesson as well, I think. So let's go ahead and check out some of the lasers that I've made. Maybe that one. Maybe do two, so like that. up into that build. Okay, let's change this as well. I feel like an ARP sound would be cool. I have some ARPs. Is it one of these? Yeah, one of those would be good. So if we take that, it's an E minor. So we need to go down 2 semitones on the sample to put it in D minor. And then I'm gonna cut the speed in half and make it really fast. Yeah, like that. And then let's go ahead in the sample or in the serum here. I'm noticing a click, and that can be an issue sometimes when you bring this bass patch in before any of the drums. And we could fix that because, you know, you might think like just changing this LFO should fix it. Like, we don't have an attack on the LFO, but because of all the post-processing and everything, it is creating a click still. So we could add attack on the envelope and that should fix the problem. Do it on this one too. We also might be getting a click from these guys. And we could always bounce those later on and get rid of those, but we won't worry about those little imperfections right now. Let's just create an idea and have fun. So let's hear it all now and kind of decide what needs to change. I think some of the downbeats will have to change. We have the same thing going every time. Okay, and then the vocal should change, so we could do like come again selecta. Yep, and repeat the vowel here. Alright, we need more effects too, so let's get more ring mod stuff. Let's just do this one up to each fill. Alright. How can we get... I think the vocal's like a little off. So we could kind of create a riser out of this vocal. Could do something like this. So I'll consolidate that. we can make it a riser or like fade it in like that. And then if I take a shifter, we could pitch it upwards or downwards into the fill. I'm thinking from up would be best. We'll probably turn it down a little too. And let's do it here with the come again. So we'll use a different, we'll use this part of the vocal. I'll lock the automation so that doesn't change that that auto filter, that shifter automation. So let's turn it down as well. And now let's infuse this with some more like funky instruments and stuff. So maybe we could find like a horn stab and put that on the downbeats. That's an F. So let's put it down to D, C, D, E, F. So we need to go 1, 2, 3, down 3 semitones. More of those like mid and upper harmonics. Yeah. Let's tighten it up. Yeah, let's just put this guy on each downbeat. Okay, so this isn't sounding as grizzy and rainbow brainy as I would like, but I think a lot of the techniques are still very applicable. I don't know what would be the right word, but especially when it comes to these like offbeat stabs, some of the fills with like the lasery sounds and the arpy sounds. Same with the kind of the Rasta kind of vocal fills that we have. Let's go ahead and make a separate sub for these basses to clean things up, and then I'm going to show you some other bass patches that I've made previously that I think are a lot more fitting for the vibe we're going for. Sound design is always a hit or miss, so maybe we didn't get exactly what we wanted, but I think the idea is still really dope. So here, let's make a new group. Call this sub, and we'll go ahead and make a separate sub for each of these main basses. So we'll start with this one. Sub sounds pretty good on it, but I think it could be better. And with disperser, things can start to sound a little weird and floppy almost. So let's go ahead and draw in a MIDI note and use Serum. I like using Serum for wobble subs or whatever you want to call them rather than a legato bass. So we'll just hold that D note out. And I love to just low pass a square wave. I think it's one of the cleanest ways we can get a sub with nice harmonics. So I'll do the MG low 24, bring this down to about 100. And let's go ahead and draw a shape like this. With the sub, it's nice to have a loud point that holds out to make our perceived loudness nice and loud, and keep that sub nice and strong. And then also I like to create these extra points at the beginning and end just to clean it up and kind of tighten it up and prevent clicks from happening. So let's hear what we have now. Let me change the color here. So as you've seen in my other videos, I like to get my sub hitting close to that 0. And we have lots of room, so I'll just turn up the master on Serum. Let's go back down here. Now it's too loud. It's going over. Let's just turn it down a bit. Perfect. And then the next thing I want to do is kind of open up the filter until some of that upper harmonic comes through. We could see that third harmonic right here just peeping up over through this spectrum analyzer that I have. And that's going to give us a nice clean sub. And then I'll just take some erosion and add some noise right on top. I have this very clean sub, so let's hear them together. Could probably push the volume a little bit more. And then let's automate the rhythm to follow the other sound. So right here we'll have it go up to 8th notes. That. Okay, and then honestly, I think we could just use this same sub here and we'll just change the rhythm. So let me cut the lows on this guy. Probably roll off some of the high end too, it's a little too noisy for me. And then let's get this rhythm right. So we have these 8th notes going. And this last one goes down to a quarter note. Let's duplicate that. Nice. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and show you some of those other basses that I made that I think are more fitting for this style, and we could go into it as well. I think it might be Clean Wobble. Again, we have that saw wave with the square going on. Yeah, that sounds so much better. So yeah, so this is actually a combo of the saw wave and the square wave on top of each other. We don't even have the LFO on the volumes here. The filter is actually making that movement that we want. So let's actually try that sound. Let's replace these with this, and then let's cut the sub on this. And then let's automate the rhythm to follow the sub. Let's see what this looks like on span. We could probably boost the sides more. So I'll take my mid-side control rack, which is also available on the Patreon, and we'll just boost the sides here. I want that side signal to be almost as loud as the mono signal. This will help our sound be nice and large and fill out space. Let's just boost it all the way. And I could add some extra stereo to the mids and the highs. Let's see what that does. There we go. Nice. I think that sounds good. I'm going to go ahead and freeze and flatten these downbeats. I think they're creating some clicks that I don't want. Yeah. So we can just delete those little clicks on the end. And that will help clean things up. And then same thing with these guys. So I'm going to freeze, flatten, and delete these little tails. Just keep it nice and clean. So now let's hear. Nice, that's sick. So I'm gonna wrap up the video here. The project file will be available on my Patreon. I'm gonna go ahead and put this video on YouTube as well. And yeah, I hope that was helpful. As usual, I hope you guys learned something. Let me play it through one more time, and I'll see you in the next one.